Blood In, Blood Out, Season 3, Chariots of Mayhem, is brought to you by Colton Toyota Bucky Spares, Pat's Parts and Tools Supplies, and TRS, The Race Shop. After a triumphant first leg at Cape Hell Drivers in Cape Town and an electrifying second leg at Outlaws,
my hats off for Shane Carlson. He drove like he was crazy.
it was time to finish the series off at home club Mayhem, Pretoria. The Red Carlson Gambler is getting tested out this meeting by midget and sprint car driver Marius van den Broek. All the usual suspects are here, but there is a very noticeable concern. No supporting sprint cars from any other clubs. Shane Carlson goes out to give his dad's car a test. Sponsors for the three-leg series still sit proudly on the cars of Shane Carlson and JP Talya. The trusty Ford Cortina gets Stefan Fischer going for a test run. He is joined by Johan Swiggers, and the original South African outlaw, Charles Carlson. Marius van den Broek goes for a first test with the Gambler. And this race day has officially started. The SA vs UK Hot Rod Series is the vessel that carried the Mayhem Sprints on their self-organized tour. He is hoping the sprint cars will have their own official tour in the future.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Water's up to my chin. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down
Oor die hoek uit en ek laai nou op. Ek wil aan die buitekant van. Jy sien hom maar so, ek gaan reguit weer na die muur toe. Terug. Is that why it stopped?
Yeah, I think the engine's broken. It's a rod or something.
Will you find me? Hope you find me.
Well, the first race, it started with like a hesitation in it. And I thought maybe it's something with a fuel filter or so. I went out now for the second heat and it got way worse and it's way inconsistent. So I'm checking now, it looks like the fuel pump drive is off or well stripped. So it spins the pump and then it stops spinning the pump. So it's well, I just made it. I almost died on that straight.
Been battling with a nose push on the car. We were here on Thursday night and the car was like sweet. It was like on rails. Now tonight, didn't change anything, but it's got a nose push. It seems to get better as tires get warmer. So yeah, it's a bit of a frustration. Then we got more stagger on it, but now the nose push is gone, but it will spin too much. So we're going back to another wheel. Bit less stagger. I hope to get it better now.
It's alright. Slowly losing power steering, so it makes it a bit difficult. And yeah, I think I was just a little bit too rough with the first heat. So second heat I backed down a little bit, tried to make it more smooth. It did work, but yeah, it's getting more and more difficult to turn the car.
Yeah, I'm in need of new tires. But yeah, it's been one hell of a night so far.
Well, we've had a good night. It's just the mindset wasn't so good at the first race. Wayne brought me out last night to practice a bit and just to get to feel the car because he's been working his Harley off the whole week. So I thought this one, I'm going to push. What happens, happens. And I just now went. So we at least didn't finish last. And yeah, I'm happy for that.
First time back in a sprint car in, about 14, 15 years. So struggling a bit. I say thanks to Shane and Charles giving me a chance to drive the car. Yeah, we had some issues in the first heat. Second heat is better. We doing some setups to see what the car is going to do on the final heat, and yeah, it's just lucky. It's nice. And I like to be back in a sprint car.
We asked Marius a bit about growing up around sprint cars because of his dad.
Yeah, yes, my dad used to race with Buddy Fuller, Harry van der Spey, those type of guys. If I can remember correctly, when Willem Zurich bought their first fuel injection sprint car, they bought from my dad. And then we started racing again with Johan Cronje those years. Johan Cronje, Henny Kilian, Charles Carlson Jr. I can't remember everyone now. Johan Roos, a lot of guys. So yeah, it's like my heart's in the sprint cars. We have an opportunity, so we're trying it out, see how it's going, and then we'll sort it out from there on.
Frontrunner Stefan Fischer unfortunately has to park just before the final heat begins.
White flags off, one lap left there for Shane Colson. He's gonna roll! Eloise Beidendorf! And the checkered flag will come out at the same time. Shane Colson picks up the one ahead of the 77 Unitech batteries. Charles Colson, Braham Petrol, Air Petroleum and Diesel, Jan van Heerden in the third place. The 17 of Johan Swiggers gets a great fourth place there in that race. Bad luck for the Big Boss Auto liquid moly car of Eloise Beidendorf. She was looking good to pick up some points, and that wheel just came off of that car.
What happened, mate? Sounds like a cam follower. I thought it was by my feet. Yeah? And now I just think about when I started it, I had to tick, 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 and then it started making and I said, ooh, let's just go. Yeah. Sorry. Otherwise he eats up the cam.
Push vehicle alsjeblieft. Guys, keep an eye out on the 75. He's going to get fired up once again, and he's capable of making it. Shane
We asked JP and Shane for their roundup of the whole series.
Well, I'll talk about Cape Town. It was quite horrendous for me. We went down there and we were all optimistic. And I broke my engine and JP stole the nut. And then Vereniging, we both had a good time, but we both had the same luck in Vereniging, and we both blew our tires up.
The first heat, the timing wasn't very lekker, so we got it right. In the ratio also, the still Cape Town ratio, changed that. Second heat, the car was much better.
And then tonight, it's reversed again, so we've had the shoe on each foot. Cape Town I broke, Vereniging we both broke, and tonight JP's broken, so it's been a...
My turn now.
Yeah, the 3 weeks were tough. We went down with the whole aim to improve sprint cars and to grow sprint cars as a group. We went to go race against Cape Town with Vereniging as a group. Cape Town didn't support us in Vereniging when we went to Vereniging, and tonight Vereniging hasn't supported us. So the future of sprint cars will be very grim if these oaks don't start supporting the tracks that support them. I mean, we're going out there and we're trying to grow it, and you know, if we can travel onto Cape Town, I'm sure they can come up for one meeting, and they're just not interested. So it can't be a one-sided affair. It's got to come from all parties, and 3 weeks in a row is tough for us, but for them not to come tonight, you know, it's like a stab in the heart for us. We really thought we're getting somewhere, and they're just not coming to the party.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have more than 10 cars here tonight also. Now they just don't pitch.
It's good to go ball their track, but they don't come do the same for our track. It's sad.
What's next for these sprint car drivers?
I don't know. First got to fix my broken engine.
A lot of sleep, some sleep, a weekend where we don't have to race. 3 weeks in a row, we need a break.
You know what, I think it was great to show that we're willing to ride with other clubs, and I think it was a very successful, if you can call it a tour or a series or whatever. Just we're tired now. With having to rebuild engine and stuff like that, it's taken a toll on us now. We're sitting with a couple of broken cars at the moment, and cars that we're still busy building, so the next couple of weeks is going to be trying to put the cars back together again, and yeah, hopefully grow our club a bit more.
Rockenna Ultimate is open for all drivers. Nobody will be refused entry there unless you're a sprint car. There's already 24 sprint cars that's booked to race this race. So the invitational or inter-club challenge or whatever the heck we want to call it, it's between the Rock and Vereniging for the sprints. Everybody else is welcome to race.
I put out a post on Facebook, not trying to cause any hassles or cause any issues with anybody or any club or anything such. I just put there I was barred from driving the weekend because I got calls the whole week, Facebook messages, WhatsApp messages, asking am I racing at Vereniging and asking am I racing at the Rock. Just put a message out there to let my fans and the people who follow our program and stuff just know, you know, we're not competing the weekend, so they don't go there and expect to see us and then they're disappointed in a day because we're not there. And then I'll get the question, why weren't you there? I didn't elaborate on it. I just said, you know, we're not running, we're barred. That just means we can't partake.
What's your final figure for Saturday on the sprints?
At the moment we're 20 cars, which is amazing. I think if we obviously had an open race, I'm sure we would have been more than 30 cars there, which would have been an absolute awesome day for motorsport. So yeah, in a way it's sad I didn't open it, but you know, we respect the two clubs, and you know, they had their wishes, and we respect it.
I've been getting hundreds of phone calls and messages. Why?
Yeah, so hopefully in the future, like I explained to you, maybe if Wimsa and us can get it more, you know, involved in, we can get sponsors, then it can be more open. Yeah. You know?
I understand the whole thing where they say the guys that put their money out there are allowed to compete. But the amount of money that was asked from our club, which is my aim, just to let your drivers compete in a tour. It's not right.
I think interclub is great if it's done between all the clubs, not just certain clubs. And you know, it's also got to be at all tracks. It's good for sprint cars. I mean, the show that was given at Vereniging and at the Rock was spectacular for the people that were there. But it could have even been bigger. You know, if we could have added another 12 cars to that series, how crazy would that have been?
You know, they had 17, 18, maybe 20 cars, where we could have had 30. We as Blood In, Blood Out Pretoria, we've been trying to boost up a meeting where we could have 30 cars. This was the perfect opportunity to do that. You know, and it was blocked by a word called invitational.
I think it's the wrong thing to do, but we all know why it's done. I mean, some guys that race now against the Americans haven't raced a car in 5 years, 6 years, but they're allowed to race. We that race every week, and we supported Cape Town, we supported Vereniging, is not allowed to race.
Even though Isak did organise it and supply the cars and things like that, people race that series that haven't raced in 5 years. With all honesty, I'm not the quickest, but you won't lap me 6 or 7 times in a race like that.
It's no use putting 20 guys against 4. I mean, I don't agree with it. I mean, who do you say won and who do you say lost?
You can't run 12 against 4. Unless you're one of the top guys in America, you can be competitive.
Invitational is a swear word. It's just it's a manner of keeping guys away and racing against, well, I don't say racing, I would say choosing your competitors. There's a saying in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is king. If you don't know any better, that guy's the best. But if you know what's going on, you know, then you know.
Run a proper test like they used to years ago, when guys will qualify and your top 4 guys will compete against 4 visitors coming from wherever. On one night you can have 12 sprint car races by adding all the other sprint car drivers, not riding against the American or visitors, but riding against each other. You could have just an open wheel night, and I think you'll fill the grandstands with it, really. And then the people will also start to get an idea who is king of the ring and who is the best.
I hope Mr. Peck will do something about it some other time, sort out this bull.
Yeah, we seem to be excluded out of certain things. So the way forward for us now is to try and do our own thing. It's unfortunate that it's actually working out like that.
Well, going forward, you know, obviously we came off this big tour from Cape Town. We had a few breakages. My car's been repaired, Eva's car's been repaired. We're waiting for parts from the States for JB's car. In the interim, we've acquired 2 more cars. We're now sitting on a good 13 cars. So we've got 10 cars dedicated to guys driving. You know, that includes my own car and my dad's car. This car was complete 3 times.
This car was standing on wheels, but then it gets borrowed. Parts now, it's all getting turned on with pieces. Those parts belong to that car. In other words, don't touch. Because it's become a case of, I want it. So if you put it like that, you know it's staying on that car now.
No, this injection is not going high. Not going, it's going on there now.
Oh, you see.
The black one on that car's going.
The plans change daily.
Our plans are we're not going to give those 4 cars out. So, you know, if we're going to get barred the whole time not to race, there's only other option is to do it ourselves. You know, so we're going to build 4 cars now. 3 of them are 99. We might run them within the next month or so. And once they're running in good, we'll put them one side and then we'll work on with Jock and obviously with whoever to bring in some guys. I'm not saying it's going to be US guys, it might be Aussies, it might be UK guys, it might be Americans. But yeah, we're going to try to do our own tour and then see how that goes. Maak the plan.
Come rain or shine, this team are working day and night to make sprint car racing what it should be in South Africa. See you next time on Blood In, Blood Out.